What's up, guys? Matco Michael's outside, so let's go take a look and see what he's got. You guys, come on. I figured that would have been gone.
We had a lot of interest. We had one guy yesterday. He can't decide between that one and the purple one. And he's kind of caught up because I offered him, he has like a Stanley, a little small Stanley box that you'd buy at like Walmart or something.
Yeah.
Well, I offered him, was it $150 I offered him? Yep. And he can't figure out why I want to give $150 for his box. I said, I'll give you $150 and you keep it. And he's like, nah, something's not right. I said, well, I don't have to give you the $150. I did want to talk about that, though. I saw a lot of people talking about the interest and how it worked. There's a lot of confusion on that. Guys, it doesn't, your credit score doesn't determine the final cost of what I sell you the box. What it determines is the interest that it goes for. Mm-hmm. I saw somebody comment that I'm raping them because it has to be over 20%. No, you can get this box if your credit lets you get it at 6%, 6.9%, or whatever it may be. That's what you're going to get it at. And then some states, it's even lower. Our state, the way that the credit bureau does ours is they look at the overall state's credit rating on how people's credit is, and that's what they base it off of. Right. It's not really our credit score. It's some kind of metric that they use. But Tennessee has a really good average to where most of their people have really good credit scores, so therefore their credit's lower than Mississippi. But at that being said, somebody may have terrible credit and it may be 23.99%, but they may have good credit and it may be 8%. It just depends on the credit. The price that the box sells for is going to be the same regardless.
Yeah.
The overall cost is going to change due to interest. It's going to depend on, which I've always said, if you buy a box at $15 a week and you don't throw extra at it at some point, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I'm not telling you to buy that box for $15 and take the full, I think it's 5 years or whatever. I'm not telling you to take the full 5 years. If you throw $100 this week at it, throw $100 at it. You get your income tax and want to pay it off, pay it off.
You got to know by now that people that leave those comments have no clue how tool trucks work. Like,
there was so many
they kill
of them.
me. They're like, I can buy the same thing at Harbor Freight. Yeah, you can buy a ratchet at Harbor Freight, but you're not going to buy that ratchet at Harbor Freight.
Yeah, there's a guy that keeps commenting on everything we post about how the ratchets, the gear wrench dealer swears they make them. They don't make them. It's crazy how they...
Let me give you a piece of advice. Just when you read that crap, just blow it out of your mind and go on.
I have still yet to comment on it, but this weekend there were so many questions or answers and questions that were being asked about the box or being said about the box. It was like, yeah, maybe I need to.
Because there's some people in this world, you can show them, you can put it on paper and show them, and you can call the finance company and let them explain it, and they're still not going to listen. Like, there's just no hope for some people. Yeah. And I have learned that. Like, I don't even argue. Like, everybody wants to fuss about this being rebranded or that being rebranded, or you can buy the same thing at Harbor Freight. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Not, like 0. 0%. Not even a 0.5%. 0%. Yeah. It makes me no difference what other people think.
You'll have somebody hop on the truck every once in a while to try to think they're going to put you in a bad spot. They're like, so-and-so makes that. It's like, yep, sure do. Mm-hmm. And then it blows their mind that you were just totally honest about it and didn't try to, hide it or anything. We never try to hide it.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
okay, if Lyle makes your scrapers or whatever, like those right there, that's so good, that's awesome. But they ain't driving a truck up here to my shop to bring it to me.
No, they're definitely not.
And
that's like we use Mayhew for some of our punches and stuff. If you call Mayhew, Mayhew will not sell directly to you. And the reason I know that is because we discontinued a set that we had that was Mayhew. Discontinued. You can't get it no more. Mm-hmm. Well, I had a customer that wanted that set, so I called Mayhew and, hey, I need this set. They said, we can't sell it to you. Well, what do you mean you can't sell it to me? You got to go to authorized dealer. I told her, I said, I'm a Matco dealer. She said, well, good. Call Matco, tell them that you want this set, and they'll call and order it for you, special order. And sure enough, that's what they did. But some of the companies that we go through, they won't let you do that. They won't let you call direct.
Well, like everybody wants to fuss about it, but I mean, Matco has so many tools that are just made exclusively for them. You can't buy it in any other brands.
We get that on several. It's like a ball joint press that we got right now. We sold so many of them that the company that makes it for us says, no, we're not releasing it to nobody else yet. It's all y'all's. You know, and I'm sure if we didn't hardly sell any of them, they would have said, hey, we got to get this out to more dealers to sell more. You know, but.
Man, people's gonna fuss, but at the end of the day, if the people on my side are happy with what you're doing on your side, it don't matter.
Well, that's the thing, you know. I have several customers that watch the video, and the whole credit thing, the reason I went over it is because he was asking yesterday, he goes, what is the details on that? I'm like, here, let me just break it down to you. Let me show you the facts. And he learned real quick that some of the ones that were commenting didn't know what they were talking about, but...
You know, I've heard a lot of people, well, I wouldn't buy Knipex off the tool truck because all the tool trucks sell Knipex. Why don't you just go to Amazon and buy Knipex?
I wouldn't buy them anywhere else.
Well, first of all, if I break mine, which now they're tough. You're probably not going to destroy them. But if you do,
I have it happen.
It's nice to be able to hand it back to you. Plus, I know my money is going to you, not some, you know, Jeff Bezos with a $50 billion yacht, you know, or going, you know,
so what we're
overseas. I mean, it's nice to know that when I spend my money made here in Booneville, that it's going to a guy that lives here in Booneville, that pays taxes here in Booneville. Like that's worth something to me.
Well, we're also getting with it's not necessarily just Knipex, but we're getting where customers are taking stuff to the store they're buying off Amazon and stuff like that, and the stores are not warranting it. They're asking for a sales receipt, and when they show them at Amazon, they tell them, you didn't buy it from us, we're not going to warranty it. People don't realize how that works. Knipex don't give you an endless supply of warranty ones. It's just, hey, you don't have to pay for these. They're having to take a pair that they've paid for and give it to you and send it in. So a lot of places, if you don't buy it from them, they're not doing it. And even then, we're running into, which I saw that one of our parts stores are under new management, but it was bad for a while that if it wasn't to his liking that it was bad enough, he would just say, no, that's not, that don't count.
See, me and him's got into it over batteries before, because like I'd have, you know how it is in a shop, like you've got some customers that's going to bring their car to you for everything, no matter how simple it is. Like, hey, I need a set of windshield wipers. Those are the customers you take care of.
You take care of
regardless.
Because they're,
So I had an older lady come in here, and she was in her 80s. And she had a battery put on at the Ford place. Well, it wasn't a Ford car, but that's before we ever opened up. So anyway, she had it at the Ford place, but it was a 5-year warranty on the battery. Of course, the Ford place is closed now. She brings it down here, you know, after the Ford place, actually before the Ford place closed, because Jimmy and them told her, hey, we're going out of business. You know, and that's kind of how she ended up here. So she brings her car down here, and sure enough, the battery tests bad. Well, it's a Napa battery, 5-year battery, and the sticker on the side was showing like 2016 or whatever it was. I'm like, hey, you're still in your prorated period. You're not going to have to pay full price for the battery. That old lady was tickled to death. I called that same parts store because I didn't purchase it under my account. He wasn't going to warranty it. I said, no, it don't work that way, Hoss. I said, she bought it at the Ford place. You need to look under the Ford. Now, we don't do that. You're going to have to, like, that's, when Ford went out, that's on them.
No.
And me and him got into it bad over there. I said, look, I don't know who makes your batteries, whether they're Exide or Interstate. You know, there's not, Napa don't own a battery company.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's another thing. It goes back to rebranding. Everybody talks about how awesome Napa batteries are. Well, they don't build those batteries. They just slap their freaking sticker on them, you know.
Well, and that's what I was getting at with a warranty. A lot of places are doing that now. It just, especially if their income's low right now, they're not warranting stuff out. I mean, and then that's unfortunate. But I hope that our viewers don't have that problem. But that's like, we'll jump to Milwaukee. We've all talked about how they're great tools until they break, and then the warranty's just hard. And I've got one right now that I'm fighting just because we sent it in. And they said, oh, well, the serial number's not readable. We can't warranty it. So, well, I sent you a proof of purchase. Well, send it to us again and we'll warranty it. Well, now they're saying that it's not covered under the warranty because it wasn't material or workmanship. Well, what was it? Well, we can't tell. The motor went out. He didn't drop it. He didn't, there's nothing broke. Is it drenched in oil? What is it? Well, no, none of that. We just don't feel like it was the motor's fault. Well, what was it?
See, they should have a flat rate fee. Like, I got to give it to Snap-on because my first impact that I bought was when they first come out with the 14.4s, or whatever. But anyway, it was a used impact.
Right.
And man, that thing had been through 29 hails. Like, the case was all messed up. The nose cone was terrible looking.
So they have like a flat rate repair?
And when it finally quit, I sent it in, $125. It comes back completely refurbished. Like new case, new nose cone, and everything.
So I will say this. Matco does that as well. We do a flat rate on a lot of our air tools and stuff like that. And some other stuff too. I think Milwaukee has like this lightning repair deal, but he's still within his warranty. Like he's still well within his warranty on this ratchet. Like it doesn't. I've sent 3 in, so I know it's a common for failure. They can look up my history and see I've sent all 3 in because we talked about it. How was those 3 not abused, but this one is? Like you can't tell me how it was abused, when it was abused, or what it was abused by.
It just don't work no more, but they don't want to fix it.
Yeah. And it's like I told him yesterday. I said, well, if that's the way it's going to be, I'll never sell your product again. Like, if that's your warranty, then I won't,
I'm going to stick to my tool truck stuff because...
Well, and
it's much easier to look you in the eye and you be like, I can't fix it, versus some crap over the phone or email.
Well, it's getting them to answer or getting them to send an email back and everybody's, they're big and bad over a keyboard. I mean... It's so simple to tell no over a keyboard and feel no pain at it because you're not in front of somebody.
Right.
But, we all heard about the email to where they're not going to warranty stuff off of Amazon or anything like that because they're third-party sellers. That don't make no sense to me. Like, why does it matter who sells it? If I bought your product and it's got that warranty.
It shouldn't matter. You're right. I mean, it's just a...
Now, if I buy it out of the
I think
trunk,
they're doing it with Amazon because I know there has been some counterfeit. I think Bosch and Makita. And obviously, they must have had some Milwaukee stuff that was made in China that was counterfeited.
Well, if it gets to that, like if I send it in and this is a knockoff, it's a really good looking knockoff, like it looks real, but it's not. Then that's nothing. That's no problem. I understand that. I have no problem with that. But if it's your product that you made, I understand. It shouldn't
matter who sells it.
I don't care if I bought it, at Walmart, at Lowe's, Home Depot, off a tool truck, I don't care. As long as I didn't buy it out of the back of somebody's trunk, it shouldn't matter.
That's true.
If he's stealing it from somebody, then I understand. That's perfectly acceptable. It wasn't sold at a national chain or well-known place, but you definitely buy a warranty when you buy tools off a tool truck.
That's it. Well, I see you still got a shelf full of...
Still got a shelf full of a lot of stuff. We're wanting to keep it stocked up. We're wanting to keep it full, which we'll probably have another meeting in the next couple of weeks, and we'll buy more.
Y'all gonna have to hook the Tahoe up and start running around behind you, ain't you?
Well, we supposed to have a box delivered. We're supposed to have it by the day, but we got called yesterday, and they said it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. I'm not looking forward to getting it in because I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but we'll get it on here somewhere.
Well, what new you got this week?
So we have the light that's hanging up behind you. It's the 3-pod light. Basically, you can cut it on 1, 2, or 3. Of course, they adjust. That's new out this week. And then our next thing is we come out with some thin wall sockets.
Thin wall sockets, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I don't know. I used to not like the thin wall that had the plastic cover on them, but I like these. These are a little different. I gotta get that out of the package, which I like the package too. It's got a carbon fiber cover on it instead of your regular just white plastic. I'm sure we've all seen those. But you got your different ones.
And those are pretty sharp.
So those is new too. But you can purchase extra covers and stuff for them.
What sizes are those?
17, 19, and 21.
It's perfect. I like the way it's got the little, that little extended anvil on there too.
Yeah, the other ones didn't have. The extended anvil, to me, makes a lot of sense. Now, of course, most people are going to think that this is just for like quick lubes and stuff, but depending on the dealership you work at, some of them rims are expensive. Like those some of the Toyota rims used to cost, $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a rim.
Yep.
And I don't care. The customer can spot a scratch. They swear it wasn't there.
Even if it was there.
Even if it was there. So having something like this just in your box, I mean, of course, if you have it, you're going to use it. But something like this that you can just pull out and say, look, I've got these, this is what I use. This protects your rim. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
And I have seen people destroy a rim with we've got thin wall flip sockets too.
Right.
That work really well. I think you bought the set from me. They work really well, but they have no protector around it.
Right.
If it's a steel rim, I'm not even worried about these. Just push those to the side and use whatever socket you want to use. But if it's a high dollar rim, especially on some of these newer rides that cost so freaking much, I'd want some kind of protection. It don't take but just a second.
Well, those are pretty sharp looking. Some interesting color choices.
They always do like a bright color on those, and it's usually red, blue, and yellow. I'm sure it has to do with the size or something that they've color coded it for. I didn't ever look real deep into it. I had a set of the original ones that had the white plastic around them, but they wasn't expanded, and they worked well, but the cover come off a lot. But I like this carbon fiber look. It looks cool. Yeah, I know looks don't make you money, but
it's still neat to have something that looks good.
But I like the extended on it.
Ain't nobody ever bought anything, so I bought it because it was ugly.
Well,
right?
People say looks don't matter until they go to buy an impact or something that has color, a ratchet or something.
That's exactly why I never owned any of Matco electric tools, air tools, or a lot of the different tools, because I don't like that maroon color.
Yeah, well, we've got you converted on a lot of it though. We come out with different colors
and it's bad. I mean, awesome. Remember I think your demo's still up here. This is it. Yeah. Now this is the gun that's pretty much sold me.
No, that's actually the 3/8. I handed so we did a deal, and I don't know what made me do this deal. But we did a deal yesterday. We had a really good kid that he's gonna watch the video. He's probably at school right now, but we let him draw a picture of an impact for his trade-in. So we gave him a discount, and he wanted yellow, and I didn't have yellow, so I let him use. He's got the demo now, but he's using the demo, and I've got his trade-in. So we're gonna take his trade-in.
Let's see what his trade-in looks like.
That's his trade-in there. So he traded
it almost looks like Bill's trade-in.
So he traded that in, so we got him into another one. We're just waiting on it. He wanted yellow, so.
Well, that's what the story is this was the color of the demo. And I used it, and I could tell it was strong. And I was like, it's all right. I like it. It's strong. But there's no way. If that would have been $100 impact, I wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah,
That's how bad I dislike
that color.
And then I come on here the next week, remember?
Yeah.
And then you had the.
I think I had.
Now I like the orange a lot, and I would have probably bought the orange. You had the green and
yellow, I think.
The yellow, yeah. So I would have bought the orange if you'd had the orange.
Well, that's just like nobody's gonna buy. Well, I say nobody because somebody would, but most people don't go to a dealership and go, "Well, I hate black, but I really want this car," and spend $20-something thousand on a color they don't like. So the tools are the same way, you know.
Well, that's why I never had any of the, the Matco stuff, because, like, honestly, the scrapers, I think that's the only maroon handled.
Yeah, I don't know
anything that I have that's Matco.
I don't know of anything else that you have that would be maroon.
I don't like that color, man. If you live down here in the SEC, you either love Alabama or you hate them, and you either love Mississippi State or you hate them. And unfortunately for me, I'm not a fan of either one. But now, I'm always going to root for the closest city that's to us. Like if Alabama's playing in the, I didn't. I actually rooted for LSU this last time.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. She's a Alabama fan. I'm not. Like I don't care who they're playing. During the SEC not the SEC. I'm sorry. During the national championship, it tickled me to see them get beat. Like it was like. And normally I'm a SEC. I don't care who's playing in the SEC. I'm normally an SEC guy. But and it's not all fans because she's not that way. But some of them just like if they're getting beat, they have this lame excuse to we've won every other game. It's about time we lose. It's like, can you not just take a loss?
Well, here's the thing, and this is what gets me with Alabama, and I'm probably fixing to make some people mad with this one. Nick Saban is probably the best coach alive today. I don't care if you're looking from Little League all the way to professional sports. Nick Saban is the best coach. The man knows football. Yeah. There's no secret. But he is the whiniest SOB I've ever seen in my life. They can be up 60 points in the game and somebody make a mistake, and you would think that just cost them the national championship.
Well, yeah.
And I know that comes from being a good coach. But at the end of the day, that's your third or fourth string kid. Come on now.
Well, you've also though, and I won't get too far into it, but you also got to where if another team does something he doesn't like for a long time he hated the fast-paced offense.
Yep.
Like he hated
That's why Ole Miss beat them that year. Remember, because it was the hurry-up, no-huddle offense.
Yeah, and he complained about that for 3 weeks after about how that should be illegal. It's dangerous for the kids. But the next year he did the same thing.
Can't beat them, you join them.
But the thing, it's not him. It's strictly the fans to me. The fans around, and it may not be all Alabama fans. I don't live in Alabama, so I don't know how they actually are. But the fans over here that are Alabama fans, 90% of them are the worst fan base ever. Like you can watch football with anybody else. Like I have LSU friends, I have Mississippi State fans, and Mississippi State and Ole Miss, they're usually the two biggest rivals around here. I can even watch football with a State fan or Ole Miss fan, it don't matter. But Alabama fan is just, I just can't.
What I want to know, does their booster club not give them enough money to buy stickers for both sides of their helmet? You're an Alabama fan. Maybe you can answer that. Is them stickers that expensive? Like, I know y'all got that little machine now that y'all make decals. I will donate the vinyl if you'll cut the numbers out so they can put it on the other side of their helmets. I always thought that was kind of weird. Like, look, y'all only had half the money you needed. Y'all were like $1 billion, $1 trillion school,
I'm kind of curious to see. I'm curious to see what they do after Saban, because Saban ain't gonna be the coach forever.
Dude, Saban's awesome. Like he is.
I feel like a lot of it is the coaching.
He could go to Notre Dame and they'd win a championship in 4 years. Like guaranteed they would.
He didn't do so well in the NFL, right? I don't know, but either way.
Saban, I'm telling you, I think he could go to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And you would see them win a championship in 4 years.
Yeah, I think he's that talent. But I'm curious to see what happens after Saban, because I don't know of a coach that could step in that position. I mean, I know there's other great coaches out there, but it's a totally different offense usually, or a totally different defense. It would take a while, and Alabama ain't always been the stuff. So
I mean, when Saban, of course, everybody knew Bear Bryant, and then Saban comes in, and it's just, he's awesome, but golly, he whines a lot, Like I can't stand to watch him in the press conferences after the games and stuff. Like, I refuse to watch him because it's just whine.
I like watching the LSU coach just to see if I can understand him.
Yep.
Like, he gets so excited.
When he's better now.
Yeah.
Than he was. When he was at Ole Miss, you had to read the captions at the bottom. You could not understand
and hope that they were right.
Like, Ed Ogeron's a good coach, too. Like, he's rough around the edges bad. Like, They didn't use scissors when they made him. They tore him out. You know, so all right. Well, I got to get going. I've got to get down here and get this job done, and we've been working on it for a couple days. But Michael, thank you very much for coming. Like always, guys, if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Cool Tools discount codes down here, and click that subscribe button. You guys have a great week, and we will catch y'all next time. If you're an Alabama fan, I don't mean to offend you, but your coach is whiny. He's good, though.